Let's try this again. Kan je bak dus het menu openen? Can you see again? Let's hope so. Yeah, great. Oh, YouTube actually is not the most funny one, so I'll leave it open. Otherwise, we will probably have the same again. Well, the good thing is actually I can put text in here, so I actually can just copy this. Oh, this is actually easier. I don't even need to go off. I didn't remember I could do this. So, what do I mean by this? So, if you are actually a total new beginner, I would actually risk between 2% and 3% of your account. That means if it's a new strategy, you never implement it in the market, you actually are trading a prop firm. Okay, it's okay. It's just $50, but still, you need to learn how to actively manage that trade. So if it's new and you don't feel comfortable and you need to learn to let go of your emotions and you're risking $200 per trade, it's not $200, of course, but if you're risking 10% of your account, that actually is way too much for a normal trader. For an absolute beginner, especially if it's a new strategy you're implementing, I would never recommend this. I would actually start recommending more around 3% until you have like say 2-3 weeks of green. You can start increasing. You will have a little bit more confidence and you can actually feel that the market will give you this. The reason why is the not positive trades will feel less, they will feel comfortable to take them in. This is how you can build up strength and your emotions. So if you're taking pre-orb, I probably see that it will if it closes in 2 minutes, that means it will have a little bit more downside. If it does, we will probably hit to at least this level. So if you're new to trader and actually you know the strategy completely out of your head and you made at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks of green, I would say recommending go to 5 to 7% then. Once you actually fully understand the strategy and you always have full confidence in taking it, then you can start trading a prop firm on 10%. Anything else than that, I would not do. If you have a funded account, I would do the same again. So because of funded, it's like something totally new for new people. So when they start trading a prop firm, they just do the eval first. Once they get to the funded, they will feel scared again. So they will feel fearful because it's new. The strategy will do the same again over and over again. So start again with see yourself as a new trader. It's a new account. See yourself as 3% again, and then build up again. This is actually something that everybody always tells you to do this. I actually recommend to do this to start with, especially if it's a new strategy for yourself. So this would be in 1 minute to close, actually, on a 5 minute chart. I'll make this one smaller. So this is this is recorded, so you can just rewatch it or take a print screen of it that you have it, because this is actually something you should do to start with. And this is just with a $2,000 risk premium. That means a $2,000 drawdown maximum that you have. So see it as the percentages, not amount of cash that you risk. So per trade, see it as differently. The reason why is if you have 33 trades until the account is given away again, until you have to repay it, you probably have enough time to do it at least for a month. You will learn a lot more. I don't need to have to repay it before the end of the day. So if we have 10 trades, not good, it can happen too in trading. I can take the hit, but not everybody can. So if you're new to trading, please start at the upper parts and build up to the lower ones. Once you have more trust in the model and once you have more funds. So that was a close, by the way. So if you're trading this short, at least the lows, and if you are lucky, and we do want to see lower prices, we will probably hit to that 21,000 here, to this area. That would be the next. Take this off the screen now. So if you would be in this, that would be the short, of course. Stop should be all the way at the high. Reason why, per value gap inside, so they can come back to it. First TP would be actually the session low, because this looks like it wants to take out at least that session. And then C, so this is only like a 1 hour, so not actually profitable to trade. And next would be, of course, previous sessions. So if we zoom out, we still have a liquidity pool right here on the hourly. So this would be the first one. But if we look at the major trend, it did move up, filled up that daily gap that we had, and then now it looks like it wants to continue. So this would be the first one, and this would be actually that protected low. So I would probably take most off of here. If you get that low. So watch how we react under this session. So I'll put it POI, so point of interest. This means reason why is because if we touch the session low, there is a big possibility also that you have a change of state, so that you actually go up. I am personally not in this, so I will only take one setup anymore. But I know a few in Discord are trading this model, so I will tape read it at least to help them out. Yeah, and if I see a place to re-enter or add to the trade, I will tell you too, so you can actually manage that, actively manage this too. So actively re-adding to this trade would be if you have a retracement into this new 5-minute FVG that's been created. If we have a tap into this and then continue lower, once we get under this low, then not that one, the lowest one, this one, that means that you could add to the trade and follow it lower. So what does the market needs to do? After this one is closed, you should see it hit that part, come below this one. After it breaks this low, you can add to the trade when the body closes under it. Then you just do the same again. You would take a short from here. That would be your stop then, because this would be the last liquidity grab after a continuation back to the lows. How much can you add to it? If you take it under the candle, that would be at least a full hour again, and this one should be reduced to that high too. So that means that you together should not have more than 1 hour into it, so you still have the same amount of risk premises. We still have a small gap, so that would be now this gap, of course, that we should tap. If you're a more advanced trader and you actually know how to add to a trade, you probably would add when it hits here instead of being patient until it continues lower. That's the other possibility, to immediately add when it hits that high. But with a little bit more risk, of course, that you actually give a little bit more to the market. So this would be exactly, I know it's not much from here too, so that's 23,231. Stop should be actually at the high of the orb range, so that would be here. So that's 23,295. That's the stop. And I'll be patient, see what happens. So we did create that small for value gap here. We still have a small 5 minutes, so if that 5 minute taps, because we entered on a 5 minute, we actually need to wait and be patient for a 5 minutes to give us that next for value gap. Don't do it on a 1 minute if you entered on a 5. Stay on the same time zones. Yeah, this would actually be full TP then. That would be that previous session. That would be 23,145. I'm teaching all of the students in my group to actually do one strategy. So it would be very unapproachable of a coach to say something and don't do it yourself. That would make me look actually very strange, wouldn't it? Even though I know multiple entries. Look, yesterday when this actually happened, when we saw this fall to that opening gap, I actually knew this was gonna happen. So as a coach, I cannot enter it. As a private person, I would have entered it because I know this will happen. I cannot tell you guys to do one strategy and then give you multiple entries that would actually reduce the amount of chance that you guys would be profitable. So if I say one thing and I do another thing, how could you even trust me then? That would be very strange for myself. That doesn't link in my brain. So this is why I only do one thing at a time, because it would look me even worse than than I'm saying this and doing something different on another level. So that would make sense for myself. So this is why I only will recommend for myself now at this point. I will only do after we take liquidity from a time-based session, change in delivery. I will add to that trade and follow that one at this point. So the orb, I didn't take it yesterday too here. Actually, before the session started, I said if we have a 100-point orb, so this was a 100 points plus orb, I said that we actually will have a continuation to the same direction. And still, I did only one model once we swept. I was looking for a reversal in here, so we took an R, not positive. We had a second one here afterwards, then worked great. When I was tape reading this, this actually was off stream because I stopped it at 5 yesterday, so around 4 here. I stopped. And then actually we had the same movement one later, and that actually worked. So anybody that took this yesterday off stream while I was not trading and is actually implementing this model, congratulations. That was actually a 5R. So this is why I won't take this model at this point, because otherwise I'm doing two things to my brain too. Even though I can if I want to, but I won't because I said I will do only one model. But because a few of the group or the bootcamp is actually doing this model, this is why I'm still tape reading it. If he wants to see how to do it, he can just watch the recordings and see how I would add, where I would put extras into it. As a trader, we only have one strategy, only need one strategy, and all the rest is noise. So any movement of any trades you actually take without having a certain entry point, a certain exit point, a certain movement of the market, and you take it without just with an inner feeling, you'll never be profitable in the longer term. So you have to have full confidence in what you do constantly over and over again. Hmm. Do we have news today? We have a little bit of news around 9:50 and 10 o'clock European zone. Normally, Europe does not do a lot to American companies. 2:30 employment rates will do something of definitely to the market. And at 3:45, you also have S&P manufacturer. So if you trade the S&P, that would definitely do something too. We do have some news today, so be a bit more cautious in the afternoon session or in New York session. Anyways, we probably have some volatility. Yesterday, the strategy what I implemented actually worked out beautiful on the stream. I didn't take it on stream. I didn't take it at all even, but I was talking it when I was actually teaching it. So here on a 15-minute base, that was actually a beautiful trade. So we had a sweep of liquidity here, time-based liquidity, this one. We had a 15-minute run up. This candle here had a change in state. Is it paused, my screen? So I don't see any movements anymore.
Is this moving?
Okay. So here we actually had the sweep of time-based. So this is a sweep of it swept liquidity. We moved up. We had a 15-minute change in state. So this one actually completely ate up the previous one. So that means that we actually were changing movement. We go into a 5-minute. If we have in this 15-minute, so this was that 15-minute downwards. 1, 2, 3 candles. We had a 5-minute FVG. That's your entry. Once we tap it actually, so you would entry would be here. You stop at the high. And if you taken this just to the daily gap, I would not take it any further than that anyways. So that would have been a very beautiful trade. That's one entry model. I actually put this up when I was talking in the group, and I left it like this, and actually it immediately fell. Even here was some news. I knew that there was news here. So here was the sweep again. So I was looking actually for an next entry. We actually did not. We all of it immediately fell. So we fell immediately to the opening gap. And I was expecting here actually that we moved back up. So I was hoping for the next movement up. We did not. We took an entry. I took an L, so I took a loss. Afterwards here, we did have that entry again. And this was actually another trade that we could have taken. On today's trade, we are still in the same place. So no taps, no movement. London is actually very slow today again. Yes, of course. Indeed, Anthony. So now we have that tap. I want to see if this is now a place where we could add. We should see immediately fall the market, fall down in the next 5 minutes. So the same like you had here. You had a tap up. We tapped actually the liquidity that was here, and immediately afterwards, it continued the movement. We should see the same here. So we tap it, and then we should actually see the continued movement. Once we fall under this liquidity here, this would be your adding spot. Because this was the last low candle, and this is actually when the market showed it wanted to go a little bit higher before it continued the movement. Even in bigger time frames, even with that, we had that drop. Look, we filled up immediately this daily cap. So there is the huge possibility that we fall over, especially after such a huge move. Still keep in mind that we still have a small 5-minute value gap just above 2. So now in this next 5 minutes, this actually does need to fall immediately. If not, this fair value gap actually held no value at all. And if you're also new to trading, please take one session for trading sessions, not 2, 3 sessions. It actually is reducing the amount of risk, reducing the amount of probability that you become a profitable trader. So pick or New York or London. Don't do both of them. It actually helps a lot. So in the meantime, that we are just sitting here, anyways, being patient. I'm gonna put this PDF up. Again, over risk management, maybe a little bit more. So, who actually is trading at 7 to 10% with a new at this point and actually never got a payout? So, if you have got funded on a normal risk private managers, it's okay. But who is actually trading a new model and never got a payout before or never got to the funded account and is actually risking 7 to 10% on a prop firm? If you are risking 7 to 10% and never got to a payout, I would reduce your risk just to get the confidence back that your plan is working. And I would start again at max 5. I would recommend 3 to 4 maximum actually, and then build up. Reason why is this is best for new traders or new models you're trading. It is better for your brain, so it controls your mind better, so you have more control over the body, so less um, volatility or moving the mind, and focus more on learning and building a good habit. So you learn to implement the strategy every time when it shows, instead of being uncomfortable in trading. So trading is a habit. You need to learn to control it and make it actually a habit for yourself, so that you actually constantly can build up. Once you actually build the habit and you constantly show up, constantly every time the model shows, are able to take it without any doubts or de-risking yourself or having strange feelings in the body. If this body closes below here, you can add. Stops would be up here then, so every stop would be then moved to this spot. So reduce a lot of points for yourself. We do need a body close below here, otherwise it doesn't count. So this actually played out like I shown. So this is actually how a for value gap should react of if the market continues the same direction, we should actually see it happen like this. Once you get comfortable in dating one strategy constantly over and over again, and you have proven to yourself that you are profitable taking it for at least 2 weeks, you can increase your risk, say to 5 to 7%. It will feel a bit more strange, but it will increase the amount of confidence that you grow, and it will make you feel a little bit more uncomfortable at the beginning. That's why we add a little bit more risk. Reason why, if it feels more uncomfortable, it means that you're growing, you're learning again, and that you actually have created a good habit at the beginning. So you have a good foundation, and you upgrade yourself to a new risk parameter, and you will still feel a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning, but you'll know because you have seen it before, it actually builds up. After you have proven yourself again for 2 weeks that you can manage 5%, increase again, go to 7 to 10%. And then you actually are, in 4 weeks' time, you get to that 10%, and actually then you have full confidence in doing it. But show yourself, first of all, that you can take every trade without having any doubt of it. And reducing the amount of you put into it is actually the easiest way to do it. Because our brain sees it as real money. It does not know the difference if it's like real money or not. Even if it's a prop fund that only costs $50 or 150, it doesn't matter. Your brain sees it as real money. It sees 2,000 standing there, and it feels an emotion, and it will come up every time, unless you have full control over it and you don't feel it anymore. You need to get over it. There is no shortcut in this. You actually need to feel this and be okay with it. Everybody tells it's maybe easy, but trading is not the easiest job in the world. It's self-mastery, and self-mastery is a lifelong work process. So still a minute and 24 in this 5-minute candle. It does needs to close at least under 23,256. Oh, what was that? 23,000. 23,256. No. No body close, no adding. You can use Trader John. David of David. It stopped the previous code, and this is actually a little bit less prof. So if you take bulenox and you are used to with trailing drawdowns, it's okay. Do know if trailing drawdown is something that's if you trade bigger lot size, it's not easy to get that even to fund it. If you trade smaller lots, it's okay. So if you only risk 2-3% of it, it's okay. If you risk 7, 8 to 10%, you will see the movement. And please never risk more than 10% of an account. This is actually the max that you should do. If you trade real money, never go above 2. Unless you have like started with, say that you started with around $10,000. You start with a 1 to 2% of that amount, so that means $100 to $50, something like that, to start with per trade. and you build up. Once you have like 15,000, you can actually increase a percentage. If you have like, but no, actually you don't have to. You can still keep it at 2. So 15,000 just increases the amount. Take a picture of this. This is very important. Do it. I know it's a prop firm. It's cheap, but for people that ever heard somebody tell them uh, that real traders or people that actually make money out of prop firms actually do it like in 1 day or in 2 days, and they actually risk it, do know that they have the capital to do it. They have a few millions laying aside, and they actually can risk that much because they don't feel it. So once you get a payout for say $15,000-$20,000, you can actually do that too if you want to. But as long as you haven't got the payout yet and still are in a learning phase, reduce your risk. It's just the way that you can grow to it. Somebody that's been trading for 15 years, they have a little bit more capital and they actually can handle it when you give $50. If you see somebody had a payout for 25,000, $50 is nothing about compared to 20,000 that you get. So see it a bit different. Some people say it's just fake money. It is fake money. That's true, but still, it feels real for most of them. My wife is an exception. So if this body closes in about 2.5 minutes under it, I would add here then to that trade. Stops would be, of course, that's the previous high. So that would be the stop then. This was, by the way, market open of 9 o'clock. So if you put your stop here, you reduce the risk at least for 50%, I believe. Yeah, so you only got a half hour at risk anymore. So I would definitely put your stop here while this is 2 minutes to close. Because if the 9 o'clock does not want to continue lower, I probably will take out Asia high first. I was actually not even watching chat. Wat er gezegd geweest? Ja, oké. You're welcome. Putting this PDF into trading course materials. I'll put this in here too. So if you want a detail of this, if you're on the Discord, you can actually get it. I just put it in. So for me, stops should definitely be now at that high. I would not want to see the market come back up there. If you added to this trade, that would be a half hour maximum that you could have added. Because we came below, it was actually this point that we were at, so that would have been a 29 point stop, 30 point stop, so that would be at least one contract you could have added because you're still in it with 17, so half, so you could have added one contract, I believe. Yeah. So that would be the second trade then. Once we form again a new fair value gap and we sweep this, you can put this one to entry. If you did not add, that's okay too. So you still are now at half risk of this trade then. Still full TP would be same area. If the market does decide to go under here and it has a bit of room. Let me take this off the screen for a second. There's not much here, so it will take off most of this in one time anyways. Or we should see a V shape off of this back up, or we actually will continue immediately to full TP from here off. So this would be my first TP, but I was looking for. In about a few seconds we will hit this. And then now actually we should not. Okay, so this could be a full for value gap that's be created. Let me take some noise off the screen first. So you will hear my alarm cut off. Yeah, I'll go off here. If we now create a new fair value gap in this area.
Hey, take a look.
That's my alarm. So we just swept session low. So this was TP1. So I do want to see us continue now. I don't want to have a sharp reaction off of this. Actually, I do want to see us fully. Yeah, this is what I want to see. Actually, let it fall immediately. So that means that this session low actually had no valid So there was actually no market maker stops or anything under it. That means actually this is what they wanted to do, and here they want to push the market lower. This is something actually that needs to push now immediately to the lows. We do not want to hang around here for like say 5 minutes. We do want to have a clean push immediately when this 5-minute closes, like at least 10 points lower. And this 15 will be also very important. If you're still in with only one, if you just didn't add this one and you still are with this one, you can put your stop max to 0% risk at this point. So I don't want to see it come back all the way. There's no need for. This 5 minute is actually closed. So the only thing that we should actually revisit is this part. Anything above, that means that we had actually a sharp reaction off of this, and now we will take out Asia high. So we can reduce actually the risk now to 0 by putting it at stops to entry. So that's a 0 risk. This is 0 risk on this trade. So if you haven't taken anything off, maybe take one contract and profit. I'll let the rest run to TP. Because if this does take a huge V shape up and we move in the upward direction, that means that this had a lot of orders stepped into the market here. We got about 1 more minute in this 5 minutes. And I do want to see a full body close under here. Otherwise, I'm quite sure the market will reverse on us. Or on this trade anyways. So like I said, stops at BE. No more risk. Even for this one, you can put it, if you added it to, you can put them both at the same level. So maybe you still have 12 points on that one contract. So that means about $25. You're still in a quarter of it depends on how much you put an R into it. So about $25 would still be and not profit. No, you put a full risk in here, so no, it would be less because I believe your entry would be maybe just above here. The next 15 seconds should actually close below that wick. I do not want to see it come back up. That means that we actually had a body close under that wick, and that is very important to see. Okay, so we did have a body close, so that's good. Not much, but we did have it. So that means that the market has a big possibility that it continues lower at this point. And now you can be patient. So we can do the same movement one more time at this point. That means if the market decides to move again to that point of interest, or actually we still have a 5-minute for value gap left, and comes again then under this wick, you could add again. It depends on how far this candle actually drops, of course. So your stops can be maximum at this high. So this is actually this wick should your stops be at. So that would be 23,260. So if you have now a full complete drop down, that would be very beautiful to see. I believe this is a bit around 1.2 R, maybe something like that. As you have now. I can't see it anymore because I actually. So this should be stops. So this is actually actively managing a trade while we're in it. So now the maximum I want to see it do is come back to that gap and then immediately fall further, or I want to see a continuation immediately. So in about 2 minutes, actually, we will see if this one closes under that one. That means actually London shows also an orb close to the downside. That means that we have a huge possibility that we will fall immediately to this TP. We got about 1 more minute until it will show us what it wants to do. So 1 more minute until it's close. It looks like we will have a continuation lower. So this was actually first entry. I'll put it back to see where you actually would be at this point. So you should be at 1.5 R at this point. Or more. Recommendation on the strategy is actually that you take at least some profit at this point. But I feel like the market just wants to continue to fall like it did yesterday. So now, what did we create? We created again a value gap right here. Oh, under this one. So here we have one, and now we could have one here too. So we actually would have 2 of them. Plus, orb London actually said we had a continuation. So this is actually a good sign that we have a huge probability that we go lower, because pre-orb and orb now actually fold completely together at the same direction. Now I don't want to see the market actually come to this high anymore. I don't even want to see it tap that for value gap, so that means it would go to one that is being created now, the second one that's in here. So that would mean 2 for value gaps that needs to fill up before moving. I don't want to see that happen. So if you add it to this trade and you are now in it, congratulations, good work. So even if we now swapped time-based session, so this is actually the other strategy that I want to use, but we swapped and there's no sign of anything telling me at this point that we want to go back up. So at this point, I have no entry, so I could not even do the other strategy. I'm just being patient myself. So even if this falls and I can tape read it, it goes to here, I do nothing. I just sit here, be patient until my plan comes out, until I have my entries, what I want to see. This is what makes a good trader a good trader. That means that you're actually an abnormal trader because you can follow a plan. Then there are not many who can do this. But it is very much required. So here we have that continuation. Let's take a look if we see something else on the sideways where it could stop off. Then maybe we should. That's a 1 hourly. Do we have anything inside? Let's take a look. Now we don't have any untapped for value gaps anymore, so actually that would be huge. Nicely for us. Now we actually don't have any untapped for value gaps, so we should actually continue the low. So here you should have at least almost a 2R. So if you're happy with 2R, take your profits. Be done with for the day. Was a good trade session. Fast one. And about small amount you take profit. So you can reduce a little bit of risk here. Anyways, if you haven't take profit, take a little bit off the table here. You're at 2R. Take another profit. Put everything at BE at this point. So even this one can stop at BE. Stops at BE here too. So you're fully out of risk. If it does continue to full TP, you can actually close your book now and just let it ride. And this will ease you up a lot more too. YouTube is actually a few minutes behind, I believe. Jeez. Tar ik 3 minuten achter? I hope you all take some profits. At least 1 hour, or take it off, please. So what do? We tapped again a 5-minute for value gap. So if you want to add one more time to the trade, that would be here. We tap that 5 minutes. If you fall under it and we have a full close, body close, you can add one more time. Stop should be at that high then too. So all of your entries should be at maximum at this high. Oh, wrong one. At this candle's high. So stop should be here at 23,217. After that, we have a body close under here. Adding after body close. The reason why is if this continues now, so all of this one and this one is in profit. If we close under, you can measurement and say it's 28 points. Okay, great, it's 28 points. That means that you can put a half hour extra into this or a full hour. You can choose yourself. For me personally, I would take a full hour. We are in profit with both of these, so your entry will drop a bit, so you will be somewhere here, I believe. If you entered one contract in this one, do it again the same. So don't add too much then, that your entry doesn't drop hugely. I do want to see the full body close. So if we have a body close under here, your stops can come to here. So this one can be done then. And then full TP would be here. So that means that this trade would look like this. Something. That would be the third trade then that you're in. And that's the last time you should add. You should never add more than 3 times in a trade. Wait for the body close, of course. 1 more minute in this. We got 40 more seconds. If you did not take any profits yet, yeah, that's 43 points. So even this move up, even if you add just 1 contract or 2 contracts to it, that should not do anything to your. You should still be above this stop, your entry. So 7 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This looks good. You should add now if you want to. Stops and entries, all entries should be at this high now. So nothing should come above this. $23,217. So everything should be here. So if we do reverse back up, that means that you could stop with, I said, not more than a half hour, please. That would be the last adding spot that I would do. Full TP is just below here, so and then I go with it. If this does not work, the last one, that's okay. We should still be in profit from both sides. So even if you did that last part, your entry should still be above your stop here. So If this does work out completely and we fall in the next 3 minutes all the way down to our full TP, that would be a good trade. If you took this trade in the morning session and you're in the Discord, post it. It's always nice to see. And if you are trading with me in Discord live in the afternoon session too, make sure that you stick to one model. So if I take the model that's actually after a liquidity sweep goes in the other direction, and your model is orb, do not trade with me. Only take the orb. You can take it in NY and in London session then, so you have also two. But take one model. That's more than enough to just stick to it. I know in the beginning people always want to trade more, but trading more reduces actually the probability to gaining profits. It does not help trade more. It helps to trade less. And the amount of times that you actually can take a not profitable trades in one trading day should also measure up with the amount of profitability that you actually have a good trade in that session. So what do I mean by that? Say that you have a win rate of 50%. That means that you can take at least 2 to 3 trades. If you only have like a 40% win rate, and you know that you sometimes need to, but after backtesting, you know that you actually sometimes need to take it 2 or 3 times before it works out. Make sure your management is set to that. I've got a few details, so the next lesson will definitely go over how to fully increase, put a good trading plan into session, because I'm seeing people just put some random stuff inside. It looks okay to start with, but it needs more details. The better it detailed, the better actually you will become. So at this point, still nothing tells me the market wants to go up. So this looks like it will just flush to the lowers. And do know I'm just sitting here, so I'm actually 2 hours now in this market without doing anything. Just helped you guys gain some profits. If you took this, I know a lot of you will take all the trades I take, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you see why I do certain things in a certain way. Actually, that full TP should be at 150. I do like round numbers. The reason why is people actually these round numbers are actually very accurate. So move this stop a little bit up to 150. Oh, the full TP. That would be a better number. So it has nothing to do with the market itself. It should just say that would be full TP. I'm not sure I did change that. You will hear me speak about those round numbers more multiple times. So market makers actually use those numbers to make it easy for everybody to understand where the market goes to. And they actually work. They go like 5 points under it or 5 points above it, but if we take the full numbers, we actually are much faster profitable. Even if it drops under here. So say that now the market goes to here, and it does not show anything in its hand to go up. You can take 90% off here completely, everything at zero risk, and then see if the market actually does want to flush, because it flushes any lower than this. Dude, we have a huge still possibility go down. So we're now in this daily fair value gap was only almost completely filled. We still have a small one here that's left. Look at this day, man. That water drop again. So like I said, if we break this, we actually have a huge possibility to go all the way to here in the next few trading days. Not in one day, of course, but the next days it's possible. So did we miss my TP for how much points? Well, come on, 2 points. Seriously? Yeah, okay. This was a great trading session. If you held everything true, we're just adding completely. You can take TP what you want, of course. A little bit sooner was also great. So this was actually very close to my TP. So I hope you learned something from this session. Great one, Anthony. Happy to help. So this will be it for me for the morning session. Hope you learned something. If you did, happy to help. If you didn't, open up your ears. That's all I can say. So wish you all a very great other trading session. If you took profits, now get off the screens. So I will do the same for at least 2 hours or an hour. I will not do anything with screen time. It's mentally very exhausting to keep watching screens. Same like television. It gets you into a kind of zone. Same for me. So if you took this and you take profits, great. Close the books for today. Come back when you actually can follow your plan again. So the next orb doesn't go up for until NY session, so it takes about a few hours from now. Read a book, do something fun, have some fun. It's Friday. Um, if you take profits, maybe don't trade the afternoon session too, because actually you have a great weekend then. Happy to help, Hugo. Are you in the? Are you in our Discord? If not, you can join it if you want to. It's free, but you don't have to pay for it. I'll give you the info. I'll give you the link. Anytime. It's my pleasure. So this will be in about 2 minutes. That will be full TP. I personally, if you're still in this trade and you're personally, I would took everything to be so everything should be at this high at least. I would not want to see the market actually come back to that high. So even this trade should be now at break even. All other stops should be at least the same as this height. So that would be at 23,186. There, all your stops should be exactly here now at this high. So this one would be a little bit not in profit.
Hey, take a look.
So congratulations, guys. That was a very good session. And now we will have that reaction off of it. Oh, the 47 would have worked too. I'll take this off my screen now. Too many drawings. So that will be it for me. See you all back on Mondays, or maybe in the afternoon session if you have one. Enjoy your session, guys. Hey, get off the stream, please. Get off the screens now and have some fun. It's Friday. Good weekend.